When you think of heart surgery, you're thinking of a 70, 80-year-old person. You're not thinking about yourself at 13. I'm someone who is pretty anxious a lot of the time. I think a lot of it stems from my cardiac history and how I was always just so nervous and anxious about how I was going to feel, and if I have to tell somebody, and if something happens and I'm not with my family, what do I do? Like, if I pass out, who's going to call my mom? Is my mom going to come here? Like, are people going to make fun of me? Like, there was just so much unknown in my head all the time, and I was always very worked up about it. No one knows what you're feeling or how you're feeling or how it's impacting you. It definitely is isolating, and then makes you second guess and judge yourself honestly on, am I being dramatic, or do I feel okay, or what's going on? I had a very unorthodox childhood. I moved around a lot because my dad played in the NBA. We had a really strong and close bond. I think it was really cool to see my dad be this really high-level athlete with this insane personality and aggression on the court, and then come home and he's just my dad. My mom, she's someone who I think is like the unsung hero. She never missed anything I ever had, whether it was like a play or a dance concert. My mom was constantly running us around, doing all the things that a mom does, and for me it worked out perfectly. I found volleyball, a sport I love. I really loved my childhood. It's different than a lot of people that I know, but I think it's really shaped me into who I am. As a kid, you're always just kind of running around playing, and you get tired, but you're not doing anything too strenuous, so I never really felt too out of whack. From the time I was born until then, I was always just told, you have this heart murmur and this leak in your valve, but it's nothing to worry about. Like, you'll be fine, just keep going to your appointments and we'll manage it, and that's that. And it wasn't until they called me and told me that I was gonna have to have surgery that it really hit me that there's something actually wrong. So basically my mitral valve, which connects the atrium and ventricle, wouldn't close all the way. So every time my heart's pumping and pushing blood through, because it doesn't close all the way, the blood goes back up towards the atrium the wrong way. And so my heart has to work extra and overtime to push it back through the heart. Having that problem, and also playing high-level sports where you're constantly with a higher heart rate, can cause your heart to enlarge. And that's what was happening for me. And over time, that starts to cause even more problems. Normally, when you think of heart surgery, you're thinking of a 70, 80-year-old person. You're not thinking about yourself at 13. Right before I was taken away, I started bawling, crying with my family, and just telling them I was really scared, really nervous. So full recovery is 3 months to when you can start playing fully, and at that age, volleyball is not as intense. So within the 3 months, I was ready, and I was able to finish out my first club season and play with my friends at nationals, which was really awesome. My 8th grade year, I felt like I had a good grasp of all the skills that I needed, and I got my first college letter that year. Everything was kind of just coming full force, and I saw how far the sport could take you, and it got me really excited. From the start, I loved Texas. I watched them win their national championship in 2012. That was the first year I started playing volleyball. I just immediately resonated with the fact that there were so many black women on that team. At the time, volleyball was not really diverse at all, and I rarely ever saw girls that looked like me. I saw a culture and a program where you could really unapologetically be yourself. I ended up committing my sophomore year, and I just knew that I was going to be somewhere that truly cared about me and wanted Asjia the person to become the best version of myself that I could.
Did you hate telling people why you couldn't do certain things?
I definitely hated telling people that I had heart problems. It was really embarrassing to me. Especially in sports, I think there's a huge stigma of just pushing through everything and not being seen as weak or as soft, or you're not a competitor, you're not working hard. And I was always so worried that people would view me in that way. Right off the bat, not being able to do the workouts that the other freshmen are doing, I felt like looked so bad on me, and I felt like people thought I wasn't coming prepared or I was being lazy. There were so many things that were going on in my mind that would make me feel stressed out and anxious every single day, waking up and going to workouts or going to practice.
So tell me about that call that you made to your mom when you were like, I think something's wrong.
Yeah, so I'd had my yearly checkup and they told me basically flat out that I needed to quit, that my condition had gotten worse and gotten to a point where there was no point of return. My trainer dropped me off back at the dorms and I just called my mom and was just hysterically crying. I was really frustrated. I had just gone through my first summer and then the first fall I redshirted and then gone through the whole entire spring. It was literally our last day of workouts and I was so excited because I knew the next year I'd finally be playing and starting. I definitely felt a lot of anger. I was angry at the doctor, I was angry at the situation, I was angry at myself. I felt like I kept getting knocked down, I'd finally get back up, get knocked down again. At that moment, it kind of felt like all of my dreams and aspirations that I had for myself as a college volleyball player just were never gonna happen. That same day, I went into the dorms and Logan and then our other teammate, Jenna Gabriel, were in there. And I immediately just broke down into tears. Being vulnerable really allowed me to feel like I can just completely be myself in this space. I think they got to see, one, how much of a toll it took on me, and also it just allowed me to realize I can be open and honest with these people.
I might break down and cry.
I refused to let anyone's opinion take me out of volleyball. I just felt like there had to be another solution and we were going to exhaust every single possible option. If I didn't want to have the surgery, I just would have had to quit. But for me, that was never even a thought or an option in my mind. I definitely feel like I had a huge support group waiting for me in Austin. Every single person on the roster, on the staff, reached out to me before and after the surgery. I just felt like I had even more to fight for. This was a group of people that loved me and cared about me unconditionally, and they cared way more about me and my mental and physical well-being than me as a volleyball player. I clearly love volleyball so much, and it's been such a huge part of my life that I couldn't imagine it just being gone. This isn't just a fun hobby I do on the side. This is a huge part of my life and something that I cherish so much. Once they told me that all of my tests looked really good, I could solely focus on just improving as a volleyball player. I remember my first workout after I had surgery when we were back at school. I finished the workout and I felt not fatigued at all, really. And I remember walking back to my car and I called my mom and I was just crying tears of joy. And I remember telling her I couldn't believe that everyone else felt this way the whole entire time. I think that moment right there was a turning point for me where it was okay, I can full send. I can completely focus on volleyball. I'm someone who has told myself over and over again to just stick to the process and it'll all work out in the end. My college career was something that truly showed me that God's plan is the most perfect plan that it could be.
I think that you have just grown into such a confident person and you're so sure of yourself, and I don't know, I feel like just when I first met you, you obviously were a confident person, but I feel like you were more quiet and reserved, and now you're just more authentically yourself and you show people who you are and you're proud of it and people love you for you, and I think that's the coolest thing to see is you grow into who you are, and obviously there's so much more.
Logan's friendship means so much to me. I think we've gone through so many ups and downs together and we're very similar people. Having a best friend who's on the same path as you at the same time, grinding it out every single day is really cool. We have this goal of both becoming Olympians together. We want to play professional volleyball together. Being able to have that with someone who I've known for the last 7 years of my life has been really awesome and really special. It's really cool playing with Logan again. We were talking about it a couple weeks ago actually, and we saw a picture of us our freshman year when we were 18 and little babies, and we both said we would have never thought that this would be possible. We hoped we'd play again together after college. We for sure didn't think that this would be in America, let alone in Austin. I know little us would be screaming right now in our dorm room if they knew that we could do this together.
I just feel like the surgeons, for her, it allows her to value being able to play at this level, really, and loving. Where I think sometimes you can take things for granted. And I believe that she has it because she's been given the opportunity twice to play. So she appreciates every single time that she's able to step on the court.
I've had a ton of people reach out to me saying they were in the hospital having their surgery and they were watching our national championship game and heard about my story, and it motivated them to keep going and go through the recovery I had. I think it's great for people to have that sense of community because it's not very common to know other people that have cardiac problems, and if I can use my story to motivate or inspire other people that are going through something similar, I think it's all worth it for me.
Whatever you're facing right now, whether it's a major life challenge or just the everyday struggles that we all deal with, you have way more strength inside of you than you think. And no matter what challenges come your way, play with your heart. Live with your heart, love with your heart. And that's what I wish for each and every one of you. Thanks, guys.
And I love about my daughter the most is she's a fighter. She's gonna fight through it, she's gonna talk through it. And she puts herself back in position to be successful every single time.
Everything I've gone through has shown me another side of myself that I didn't know I had before. Now I feel like I'm not afraid to be the biggest in the room and share my voice, share my thoughts, and be unapologetically myself. I hope that as I continue to grow and go through this journey of being a professional athlete, that I can always stop and look back at myself and say that I'm proud of the person I am, the way that I get through all of my adversity, and the way that I hopefully continue to inspire people around me.
Congratulations to Love Austin, your 2020